getting some nutrients in my system after 2 days just straight drinking. What a legend. This man passed out while standing.
I couldn't remember it, honestly. That's
I'm really impressed that you stayed standing with your eyes closed.
wow. Okay, I mean,
Yeah, you don't remember.
I don't remember it. But I mean, if I were to be like, you know, a different person and seeing me, I'd be impressive too. So
Oh, it was so weird because we're like, we don't know if John's actually sleeping or what, but no. I'm gonna eat all my food and then I'm gonna go back to the floor and it's going to be a great day.
You even say no.
Howdy. Howdy. Ryan, Celeste.
So I've been going around the con blasting Naruto theme songs and dancing, and I ended up hugging a vein and jumping around. It was very strange.
Okay, but Naruto theme songs slap. Slap. 1-800 are you weak? It's Jack Sparrow and another Captain Hook. I love me Jack Sparrow. I gotta get a picture of this man's Inspector Gadget. That is so sick. By far one of my absolute favorite. These are from Rainbow Six Siege. Oh, okay. God damn it. I was Echo yesterday.
Oh yeah?
I just had a hard nerd out right there. I'm very sorry you had to see all that. Because
Oh yeah, I remember that.
That's a bio.
Oh yeah, you were trying to stack up with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
My God. I was like, wait, what?
I need you to take a step back.
Oh. I don't know what this crossover is, but it's wild.
Last night was so much fun.
Yeah, it was.
Let's do it. It's just like a plethora of bad decisions. I was just like,
Nah, we call them memories. Guys, that man walking away right there is Mineral Blue.
I was hammered, so why not? I was like, it was like John will. Oh no, John Sasser.
Stop.
Don't be stupid, dude. Don't be stupid.
Guys, that was Mineral Blue, and I watched all of his CMVs, and he's a great photographer, and man, my anxiety is telling me, like, not me, but my fanboys telling me to go meet him. I don't know what to do. Gay sluts. Sluts. Gay sluts.
Not gay sluts.
Not sluts. Gay sluts.
Here for that.
Kiki's got a meetup and I need to leave in the next hour, so it's time for me to do one last round through vendors and Artist Alley, and then we gotta go home, but not before I find as many people as I can to say goodbye, because I love them. But we need to find stuff, and we need to find stuff now. Girl, hold up 2 times so you get fruits basket. Gotta send this to Kiki now before I forget. Freezing, vanishing line. Oh, I heard that's good. Italia. So I got a beer and instead of actual food and nutrients and water, but there are so many comic book stands. Like, granted, I know this is a comic con, but even still, just Oh, shit.
Oh, you want to come with us? No face, why don't you stay with me?
Well, I got my first piece of artwork.
That's so inefficient.
This is Spike Spiegel and Faye Valentine from Cowboy Bebop. But the artist I got it from, I've been following for like 3 years, ever since my first anime convention, because she was the first artist I got artwork from. And I've been just following her stuff on Instagram for a while, and now this is my third piece by her. And her pictures, her artwork are so well done. I highly suggest you follow her. I'll plug her somewhere on the screen right about now. Here's, what is it, Miho Art? Yeah. But I'm gonna start walking around and looking at more artists because there's still so much I want to buy right now. Dude, I didn't even know that they had a Friendships of Scales Reptile Rescue booth, but look at
Red the
this.
Scales started 8 years ago, and in that time we've taken up. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Yeah, get in here. Hey, honey.
Look, there's a nice little blue snake. One legless lizard. It's a legless lizard, not a snake, just legless lizard. Tortoise.
But it's like the strength of a bee stick.
She doesn't do a whole lot. Oh, wait. You want the pink can?
How are you gonna yell, man? You got it on your face.
That man has the thing on his
I wanted to touch
face.
that, but I think she's just
The gall. This is a brave little man.
She's okay. She just sits there.
It's a soft nope spider. Well guys, I absolutely caved in and I bought so much more than I had originally planned. I have, I think, 4 art pieces, a playmat, and a box set for Fruits Basket. Easily spent over $200 and overdrew my car. That's not even a question. It happened. But, hopefully those charges don't drop for another couple of days so I can get paid again. And it's worth it, because this is going to make up for the other C2E2 side I'm not going to be able to make. But I actually need to run back to the hotel, grab my bags, and I need to get to my car now. So if I didn't see you to say goodbye, I'm sorry, but it's time to go. Well guys, that concludes C2E2. I really didn't show you much of me walking around the floor because mostly me going up and down vendor hall and artist alley looking for new pictures to buy and whatnot. And as you saw, I got quite the payload with me. Ugh. Okay, so I got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures. Fruits Basket box set, which by the way, Kiki, yes, I got it. You convinced me with just a simple yes, get it. And I got a new playmat, which I will show you either on the blog later or definitely on my Instagram. I don't know about the blog later though. But C2E2 was an absolute blast. This was my very first C2E2 ever, and I want to thank everybody that helped make this such a great time for me. I want to give a special thanks to John and Isaiah for letting me crash with them. You guys are absolute champions. I want to thank like Celeste, you're such a great mom. Kiki, what a dude. Nettie, what another mom. Like I have 2 con moms at this point. I met Miss Rebecca Sue for the first time. I linked up with Cece. I linked up with Victor and Rose, Steve, Allie, Shelby, Jerry. I met up with Megan. Like, I didn't even know Megan and Ant and Michelle and Aria. I totally just mispronounced your name. Ari. Shane, like Shane, what a guy. Thanks for coming out and seeing me, dude. It was great to see you again. Yeah, there's totally more people that I like either knew beforehand and met this weekend, or I had just met this weekend, and if your name isn't being mentioned right now and it's escaping me, I'm so sorry, but you're absolutely getting linked in the description, somewhere in my blog, elsewhere. But y'all were so kind to me this weekend for letting me tag along and hang out with your normal group of Chicagoland, you know, con goers, where it's just me coming up by myself. Like, I just drove up here by myself with no friends. And I linked up with so many people, and I love you all. Big upsides of C2E2. Hella people. There's literally something like to do always. Whether it's autographs, photo ops, exhibitors halls, panels, artist alley. Gaming was huge. It was insane. There was so much to C2E2. Like, it was so difficult for me to take it all in at the same time. The guest lineup this year was absolutely killer. Like, some really big names were Paul Rudd, Amy Johansson, Christopher Sabat. I'll link the full guest list in the description somewhere, but it was so good. There's just so much to say.
Head south on South Wentworth Avenue toward West 19th Street.
There's just so much for me to say about C2E2.
There's an 11-minute slowdown on I-55 south in 1.5 miles. You should reach your destination by 2003.
I got to meet the voice actresses for Mercy from Overwatch, Sombra from Overwatch, and Ash from Overwatch. This was definitely different for me because it's more comic based, like Western pop culture based, and I've always gone to anime conventions where it's always Far East Asian culture based, so it's a lot of anime. You can imagine what those kind of conventions are like. But then coming out to here, it's a lot of DC, Marvel, more video games-esque, and it was a very, well, it wasn't a super different crowd based on how everything was organized and like people's behaviors, but it was strange to walk around and not see, you know, a character from, or like 50 different people cosplaying 50 different shows. Like a lot of the anime cosplayers were from the massive like shonen genres like Naruto, One Piece, Dragon Ball, Fairy Tail, Hunter x Hunter, those kind of shows. Most other people were cosplaying video games and DC and Marvel superheroes, which that's not to say that's a bad thing. There were a lot of really good ones. It's just I've never been to a convention like this, so it was very different for me. I feel like it's really important that people also understand that when you go to any convention of any sort, it's great to have fun, but if you're not able to have a good time because of physical drawbacks or you get sick or something, then it's like you're really shooting yourself in the foot if you're not watching out for your actual physical health. So please, for the love of God, anytime you go to a convention, drink so much water. You will not regret it. On that note, my final thoughts on C2E2 are, this is so far my favorite convention ever. I met so many people, celebrities and new friends alike. There was so much to see. There were so many cosplayers. There were so many like after parties, whether it be official, unofficial, everybody's hanging out at a bar, whatever. The venue is huge, which is perfect for the amount of stuff that they have to bring in. Like seriously, it's at the McCormick's Place in Chicago. It is so stupidly big. I'm not gonna lie, security did seem a little bit lax, but I feel like nothing really happened for them to really do anything, if that makes sense. It's like no one brought in like a real knife, or like no one started a fight, so it's just like you really don't need to like call the police or anything like, hey, stop that. The bigger issue is probably the amount of harassment cosplayers get at conventions, especially ones this big, and especially the female cosplayers, because I have had some friends that have experienced sexual harassment from, you know, just random strangers. It was like, hey, I want to take your picture, and then they start following them, whether it be on social media or they follow them in person around the con. They don't leave them alone, and that's not okay. Yeah, enough about the negative stuff. C2E2, 10 out of 10, absolutely. I'm not going to be able to go back to C2E2 for like another 2 to 3 years, maybe even 4 years, because I'm going to be moving down to Carbondale to be going back to school for engineering. And until I finish my bachelor's degree and figure out where I'm going after school, I'm not going to be able to attend C2E2 again, because C2E2 falls like right in the middle of the spring semester for schools. If I lived closer, like if I lived around the Chicago area within like an hour, I would be going to C2E2 every year. That's not even a question. But I'm going to be living like 8 hours south, so that's just, unless I absolutely want to and I fly, that's not happening. And then I'm really sorry if I'm not able to come out and see all my friends again for a few years, but just know C2E2 for me will return. I will be back. It will be great. On that note, I want to thank you guys all for watching my C2E2 vlogs, my very first C2E2. You all got to experience this with me through my eyes, and what happened. If you experienced this with me in person, even better. You guys were phenomenal. You were so, like, the level of hospitality was so high, and it was so much fun. On that note, I have a 3-hour drive home, and I have to get through Chicago traffic. I am not prepared for this, but that wraps up C2E2 2019. I love you all. I will make my return, and I'll see you guys at my next con. Bye.